report says we ended up at stage 4, paragraph page 248. Okay, and our last headword was coal, full stage revision. Okay, so let's pick up from where we ended. Ready?
Okay, I'm
Here we
ready.
go. In a restaurant, what do we look at to decide what we want to eat? In a restaurant, what do we look at to decide what we want to eat? In a restaurant,
Yes,
we look
we
at
look at
a
the
menu
menu
to decide
to
what
decide
we
what
want.
we want to eat.
Very good. Okay. Did you decide to study English or did somebody in your family decide for you? Did you decide to study English or did somebody in your family decide for you? I
I
decided to
decided to
study
study
English.
English.
Nobody
Nobody in my family
decided for me.
decided for me.
Very good. Explain the difference between the present continuous and the present simple. Explain the difference between the present continuous and the present simple, please. The difference
The
between
difference
the
between
present
present
continuous and the
continuous and
present simple
present
is
simple
that
is
we
that
use
we
the
use
present
present
continuous
continuous
for an
for an
action
action
we are doing
we are
now,
doing now,
whereas we use
whereas
the
we
present
use
simple
present
for
simple
an action
for
we do
action we
generally.
do generally.
Very good. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm
I
explaining the
explained
difference
the difference
between the
between
present continuous
continuous
and the
and present
present
simple.
simple. Very good. Which place in the world do you think is most like heaven? Which place in the world do you think is most like heaven? I think
I think Hawaii is the
is
most like
heaven.
heaven.
Very good. What's the opposite of heaven? What's the opposite of heaven? The
The
opposite
opposite
of
of
heaven
heaven
is
is hell.
hell. Very good. Is it a good idea to book a table before going to a very popular restaurant? Is it a good idea to book a table before going to a very popular restaurant? Yes,
Yes,
it's a
it's
good
a good
idea
idea
to book
to
a
book
table
a table
before going
before
to a
going
very
to a very
popular.
popular restaurant.
Very good. Do you always try hard to answer the questions I ask you? Do you always try hard to answer the questions I ask you? Yes, I
Yes, I
always try
always
hard
try
to
hard
answer the
to ask,
questions you ask
answer the
me.
question you ask me.
Very good. Are you always willing to try anything new? Are you always willing to try anything new? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'm
I always
always willing
willing
to
to
try
try
something new.
something new.
Very good. Do some people sometimes try to do the impossible? Do some people sometimes try to do the impossible? Yes,
Yes,
some people
people
sometimes
sometimes
try to
try
do the
try to do
impossible.
the impossible.
Very good. Are cities quiet places to live in? Are cities quiet places to live in? No.
No,
Cities aren't
cities
quiet
aren't
places
quiet
to live
places
in.
to begin.
They're noisy
It,
places
they are noisy
to live
places
in.
to remain.
Is village life noisy? Is village life noisy? No.
No,
Village life
village life
isn't noisy.
isn't
It's
noisy. It's
quiet.
quiet.
Which do you think's the noisiest street in your town? Which do you think's the noisiest street in your town? I think
I think ABC Street
is
is the noisiest street in
in
this
my
town.
very good.
In my town.
Are motorbikes quieter than bicycles? Are motorbikes quieter than bicycles? No.
No,
Motorbikes aren't
motorbikes
quieter
aren't
than
quieter than
bicycles.
a bicycle.
They're noisier
They are noisier
than
than
bicycles.
bicycles.
Very good. Okay, are you sorry when the winter ends? Are you sorry when the winter ends? Yes or no?
No,
I'm
I'm
not sorry
sorry
when the
when the
winter
winter
ends.
ends.
I'm pleased.
I'm pleased.
Very good. Will you be sorry if it's a sunny day tomorrow? Will you be sorry if it's a sunny day tomorrow? No, I
No,
won't
I
be
want to be
sorry if
sorry.
it's a sunny day.
It's a sunny day tomorrow.
Very good. One more. No, I won't be
No,
sorry
I want to be
if
sorry
it's a sunny
if
day
it's sunny day
tomorrow. I'll be
tomorrow.
pleased.
I'll be pleased.
Very good. What do we say to people when we do something wrong? What do we say to people when we do something wrong? We say, I'm sorry
We
to
say
people
I'm sorry to
when we
people
do something
when
wrong.
I do something wrong.
Wrong. Very good. What's the past of have? What's the past of have? The past
The
of
past
have
of have
is
is
had.
had.
What did I have in my hand last lesson? What did I have in my hand last lesson? You had a pen
You had
in your
a
hand
pen in your
last
hand
lesson.
last lesson.
What did you have for your breakfast this morning? What did you have for your breakfast this morning? I had
I
some
had
cup,
some coffee, some bread,
etc.
etc. for my breakfast this
this
morning.
morning. Very good. What did she have for her breakfast this morning? What did she have for her breakfast this morning? She had
She
some
had some coffee and some bread
for her
for
breakfast
her bread
this morning.
breakfast this morning.
Very good. Did we have any shoes on our feet yesterday? Did we have any shoes on our feet yesterday? Yes,
Yes,
we had
we
some
had some
shoes
shoes
on
on
our
our
feet
feet
yesterday.
yesterday.
Did they have any money in their pockets last lesson? Did they have any money in their pockets last lesson? Yes, they
Yes,
had some
they had
money
some money in
in
their
their
pocket last
last
lesson.
lesson. Very good. What's the past of can? What's the past of can? The past
The
of
past of
can
the can
is
is
could.
could.
Very good. Could you speak English 15 years ago? Could you speak English 15 years ago? No, I
No, I
couldn't.
couldn't speak English 15
15.
years ago.
Very good. Could you write your name when you were a baby of 6 months old? Could you write your name when you were a baby of 6 months old? No,
No,
I couldn't
I couldn't write my name
when
when I was a
baby
baby,
of 6 months old.
6 months old.
Very good. Could you read when you were a little baby? Could you read when you were a little baby? No,
No,
I couldn't
I
read
couldn't
when I
read
was
when
a
I was
little
a
baby.
little baby.
Very good. Do you think maybe it'll rain later? Do you think maybe it'll rain later? Yes or no?
Yes, I
I think
think
maybe
maybe
it.
it'll rain later.
Very good. Do you think perhaps you'll meet a friend of yours on your way home after the lesson? Do you think perhaps you'll meet a friend of yours on your way home after the lesson? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think
I
perhaps
think
I'll meet a
perhaps
friend of
I'll
mine
meet a friend of mine
on my
on my
way
way
home
home
after the lesson.
after the lesson.
Do you think maybe you'll go to the cinema next month? Do you think maybe you'll go to the cinema next month? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
think
think maybe
maybe
I'll
I'll
go to
go
the
to.
cinema next month.
Very good. Do you like sweet food? Do you like sweet food? Yes or no?
Yes, I like sweet food.
Wait, do you like do you eat a lot of did you eat a lot of sweets when you were a little child? Did you eat a lot of sweets when you were a little child? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
did
didn't eat
a lot of
a
sweets
lot of
when I was a
sweets
little
when I was
child.
a little child.
Very good. Okay, next. Do we generally use contractions in spoken or written English? Do we generally use contractions in spoken or written English? We generally
We
use
generally use
contractions
contraction
in
in
spoken.
spoken English.
Wait, do you think it's easier to understand written English or spoken English? Do you think it's easier to understand written English or spoken English? I think
I
it's
think it's
easier to
easier to
understand.
understand in spoken English.
Very good. Okay, what's the construction of book wheel? What's the construction of book wheel? The
The
construction of book
construction
wheel
of book
is
will
book.
is book.
What's the construction of tomorrow will? What's the construction of tomorrow will? The
The
construction of
contraction of
tomorrow
tomorrow will
is
is
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
What's the construction of the light wheel? What's the construction of the light wheel? The construction of the
Contraction
light
of
wheel
the light will
is
is
the light
lighter.
wheel. What's the construction of the door wheel? What's the construction of the door wheel? The
The
construction of the
contraction
door
of
wheel
the door will
is the
is
door.
door.
What's the construction of who will? What's the construction of who will? The
The
construction of who
contraction
will
of free will
is
is
who.
who.
What's the construction of what will? What's the construction of what will? The
The
construction of what
contraction of
will
water will
is what
is
will.
water.
Very good. Do we always use constructions in English? Do we always use constructions in English? No, we
No,
don't
we don't
always use
always use
contractions
contraction
in
in
English.
English.
When don't we use contractions? When don't we use contractions? We don't use
We don't use
contractions when
contraction.
they are
They
difficult
are
to
difficult
pronounce.
to pronounce.
Where do you think tomorrow will be a cloudy day? Do you think tomorrow will be a cloudy day? Yes or no?
No, I
I
don't
don't think
think
tomorrow will
tomorrow will be
be a cloudy day.
a cloudy
I
day.
think it'll be
I
sunny.
think it will be sunny.
Where will that picture be hanging on the wall next lesson? Will that picture be hanging on the wall next lesson? Yes,
Yes,
that picture
that
will be
picture will be hanging on the wall next
next
lesson.
lesson. Very good. Will the door be the same color next week as it is this week? Will the door be the same color next week as it is this week? Yes, the
Yes,
door will
the
be
door will
the
be the
same
same
color
color
next week
next week
as it is this
as
week.
it is this week.
Will Mr. Brown be here next lesson? Will Mr. Brown be here next lesson? Yes,
Yes,
Mr. Brown
Mr.
will be here
will be here
next
next lesson.
lesson. Very good. How do you spell your name? How do you spell your name? I spell my
I
name.
spell my name Hiro.
Very good. Do you prefer to communicate with your friends by phoning or texting? Do you prefer to communicate with your friends by phoning or texting? I prefer
I
to
prefer to
communicate with my
communicate with
friends
my
by
friend by phoning
very good
to text
than texting.
than texting.
Very good. Do you think it's easier to communicate in spoken or written English? Do you think it's easier to communicate spoken or written English? I think
I
it's
think it's
easier to
easier
communicate
to
in
communicate in spoken English.
very good. Can you communicate very complicated ideas easily in English? Can you communicate very complicated ideas easily in English? No, I
No,
can't
I
communicate
can't
very
communicate
complicated
very complicated
ideas
ideas
easily in English
easily
yet.
in English
Yet,
yet.
very good. Okay, what's the negative of had? What's the negative of had? The negative
The
of
negative
had
of had
is hadn't.
is hadn't.
Very good. What are the common ways of asking a question with the verb to have? What are the common ways of asking a question with the verb to have? The common
A
ways
common
of
way of
asking a
asking
question with the
question
verb
with
to
the
have
verb to have
are do you
are
have a
do
pen
you have a
and
pen
have you got a
and
pen?
do you get a pen.
Very good. What are the common ways for the past tense? What are the common ways for the past tense? The common
The
ways for
common
the
way
past tense
for the
are
past tense
did you have
are
a
did you
pen
have a pen?
and have
Had you
you
got a pen?
very good. Which is the most common way of asking a question with the verb have in the past? Which is the most common way of asking a question with the verb have in the past? The most
A
common
most
way of
common way
asking a
of
question
asking a
with the
question
verb
with
have in the
the verb
past
in the past
is did you
is
have?
did you have.
Reggie, did you have your book with you last lesson? Did you have your book with you last lesson? Yes, I
Yes,
had
I
my
had
book
my
with
book
me
with me last
last
lesson.
lesson. Did I have a hat on my head last lesson? Did I have a hat on my head last lesson? No, you
No,
didn't
you
have a
didn't
hat
have a hat
on
on
your
your
head
head last
last
lesson.
lesson. Very good. Had I got any money in my hand last lesson? Had I got any money in my hand last lesson? No, you
No,
hadn't
you
got
hadn't
any
got
money
any money
in
in your
your hand
hand last
last
lesson.
lesson. Very good. Did I have my feet on the table last lesson? Did I have my feet on the table last lesson? No, you
No,
didn't
you
have
didn't
your
have
feet
your head
on the
on
table
your
last lesson.
table last lesson.
Very good. Did you practice your English after you left school yesterday? Did you practice your English after you left school yesterday? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
practiced my
practiced
English
my English
after I
after
left
I left
school
school
yesterday.
yesterday.
Is it easier to become good at a sport if you get lots of practice? Is it easier to become good at a sport if you get lots of practice? Yes, it's
Yes, it's
easier to
easier
become
to
good
become
at a
good at
sport
sports
if you
if
get
I get lot of practice.
very good. What's the difference between the noun practice and the verb practice? What's the difference between the noun practice and the verb practice? The difference
The
between
difference
the
between
noun practice
the
and the
non-practice
verb
and the verb
practice
practice
is that we spell
is
the
that
noun
the
we
verb
spell the noun with a C
we spell the noun with a C
and we spell the verb
and we spell
with
the
an
verb
S.
with an S.
Very good. Okay, what's the polite way of communicating that you want something? What's a polite way of communicating that you want something? A polite
A
way of
polite way of
communicating that you
communicating
want
that
something
you want something
is to
is
say,
to
I
say
would like.
I would like.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I would like a
I would
cup of
like
tea.
a cup of tea.
I would like
I
to
would
watch
like to
the
watch
TV program.
TV program.
Regard, what can we say when we offer something to somebody? What can we say when we offer something to somebody? When we offer something
When we offer
to
something to
somebody,
somebody,
we can
we
say,
can say,
would you like?
uh, "Would you like?
Right. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Would you like a
Would
cup
you
of
like
tea?
a cup of tea?
Would you like
Would
to
you
go?
like go to the cinema?" Cinema.
Very good. Can we learn a lot by visiting different countries? Can we learn a lot by visiting different countries? Yes, we can
Yes,
learn a lot
we can
by
learn a lot
visiting different
by
countries.
visiting different countries.
Did you visit any new places last month? Did you visit any new places last month? Yes or no?
Yes, I
Like
visited some
some
new
new places last month.
places last month.
Very good. Would you like to visit Australia in the future? Would you like to visit Australia in the future? Yes or no?
Yes, I would like to visit Australia in the future.
Very good. Okay, what's the difference between use and use? What's the difference between use and use? The
The
difference between
difference between
use and
use
yes
and
is
use
that
is that
use is the
use
verb,
is a verb,
whereas use
whereas
is the
use is a
noun.
noun.
Wait, what's the use of a pen? What's the use of a pen? The use
The
of a
use
pen
of a pen
is
is
for
for writing.
what's the use in studying languages? What's the use in studying languages? The use
The
in
use
studying
in
languages
studying
is to
languages
make it
is
possible
to make it
for us to
possible
speak
for us to
to
speak
people
to
from other
people from
countries.
other countries.
Very good. Give me an example of the word therefore. Give me an example of the word therefore, please. I want to
I
learn
want
English
to
well.
learn English well,
Therefore, I must
therefore I
study.
must study.
Very good. Can you hear the sound of my pen on the table? Can you hear the sound of my pen on the table? Yes, I can
Yes,
hear
I
the
can hear the
sound
sound
of your
of
pen.
your pen on
On,
the table.
can you hear the sound of traffic at the moment? Can you hear the sound of traffic at the moment? Yes or no?
No, I can't hear the sound of
Of
traffic
traffic.
at the moment.
Do you think the English language sounds pleasant? Do you think the English language sounds pleasant? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I think
think
English
it
language sounds
sounds
pleasant.
pleasant. Do I sound angry at the moment? Do I sound angry at the moment? No, you don't
No,
sound
you don't
angry at
sound
the moment.
angry at the moment.
Is your house completely silent at night or can you hear street noise? Is your house completely silent at night or can you hear street noise? My house
My house is completely silent at
at night.
night.
Very good. Okay, next. What's the difference between and an? What's the difference between and an? The difference
The
between
difference between
and
a
an
and
is that
an
we use
is that we use an
before a
before
consonant sound,
consonant sound,
whereas we use an
whereas we use
before a
an
vowel
before
sound.
vowel sound.
Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. A book,
A
an
book,
apple.
an apple.
Give me an example of the. Give me an example of the. The chair
The
is
chair
red.
is red.
Give me an example of the. Give me an example of the, please. The apple
The
is red.
apple is red.
Very good. Why do we say the use and not the use? Why do we say the use and not the use? We say the use
The
and not the
use
use
and
because
not to be used
the
because
word
the
use
word use
starts with a
is starts
consonant
with the
sound.
consonant sound.
Right? Is it right to say a hour or an hour? Is it right to say a hour or an hour? It's right to
It's
say
right to say
an
an
hour.
hour
Why? Why? Because the letter
because
H in
the
the
letter
word
H
hour
in the word
is
hour
silent.
is silent.
Very good. Did you fail to answer the last question? Did you fail to answer the last question? No, I
No,
didn't fail
I didn't
to
fail
answer
to
the last
answer the
question.
last question.
I
I
succeeded in
succeeded in
answering the
answering
last
the last
question.
question.
If you try hard, do you think you'll succeed in learning English well? If you try hard, do you think you'll succeed in learning English well? Yes, if
Yes,
I
I
try
try.
hard,
If I try
I
hard,
think I'll
I succeed.
succeed.
I think I
I'll
think
succeed
I succeed
in learning
in
English well.
learning English well.
Very good. One more. Yes, if I
Yes,
try hard,
if I
I
try
think
hard,
I'll
I
succeed
think
in
I will
learning
succeed in learning
English well.
English well.
Well, what's the opposite of to fail an exam? What's the opposite of to fail an exam? The opposite
The
of
opposite
to
of to
fail
fail
an
an
exam is
exam
to
is
pass
to
an
pass
exam.
an exam.
Do you think you'll pass the stage exam at the end of this book? Do you think you'll pass the stage exam at the end of this book? Yes, I
Yes,
think
I
I'll
think
pass
I'll
the
pass
stage exam
the state
at the
exam
end of
at
this book.
the end of this book.
Well, if you fail an examination, do you always take it again? If you fail an examination, do you always take it again? Yes or no?
No,
If I
if I
fail an
fail an
exam, I
examination,
don't always take it
I don't
again.
always take it again.
Do people generally succeed in getting what they want if they try hard enough? Do people generally succeed in getting what they want if they try hard enough? Yes,
Yes,
people generally
people
succeed
generally
in
succeed
getting what
in
they want
getting what
if
they
they
want
try hard
if
enough.
they try hard enough.
Very good. What can we say instead of I must study? What can we say instead of I must study? Instead of I
Instead,
must study,
I must
we can
study.
say I
We
have to
can say
study.
I have to study.
Do you have to eat if you want to live? Do you have to eat if you want to live? Yes, I
Yes,
have to
I
eat
have to
if
eat
I
if
want
I
to
want
live.
to live.
Did you have to get up early yesterday morning? Did you have to get up early yesterday morning? Yes or no?
No, I
I
didn't have to get up early yesterday
morning.
Morning.
Very good. Will you have to wait if you arrive too early for the next lesson? Will you have to wait if you arrive too early for the next lesson? Yes, I'll
Yes,
have to wait
I have to
if I
wait
arrive
to
too early
arrive too
for the
early
next lesson.
for the next lesson.
Very good. Which is it right to say? You mustn't smoke in this building or you don't have to smoke in this building. Which is it right to say? You mustn't smoke in this building or you don't have to smoke in this building. It's right to
It's
say
right to
you
say
mustn't
you
smoke
mustn't
in
smoke
this
in this
building.
building.
Which is it right to say I mustn't get up early on Saturday or I don't have to get up early on Saturday. Which is it right to say I mustn't get up early on Saturday or I don't have to get up early on Saturday. It's right to
It's
say
right to say
I don't
you
have
don't. I don't
to
have
get
to
up early on Saturday.
get up early on
Right.
Saturday.
Very good. One more. It's right to say
It's right
I
to
don't
say
have to get
I
up
don't have
early
to
on
get up
Saturday.
early on Saturday.
Must you study if you want to learn English? Must you study if you want to learn English? Yes, I
Yes,
must
I
study
must
if I
study
want
if
to
I
learn
want to
English.
learn English.
Must you study 10 hours a day if you want to learn English? Must you study 10 hours a day if you want to learn English? No, I
No,
don't
I
have
don't
to
have
study.
to 10 hours
One more.
up
No, I
to
don't
study.
have to
No, I
study
don't have to
10
study
hours a
10
day
hours a
if
day
I want to learn
if I
English.
want to learn English.
Very good. Okay, how do we sometimes form a noun from a verb? How do we sometimes form a noun from a verb? We
We
sometimes form a
sometimes
noun
form
from
a
a verb
noun from the
by
verb
adding the
by
letters
adding the letter
er
er
to the verb.
to the verb.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Eat, eater.
Eat, eater.
Walk, walker.
Speak, walk, walker.
Speak.
Speak, speaker.
Megan, are you a hard worker? Are you a hard worker? Yes or no?
No, I'm not a hard worker.
I work
I
very
work
little.
very little.
Are you a complete beginner in English? Are you a complete beginner in English? No,
No,
I'm not a
I'm not
complete
complete beginner
in
in
English.
English.
I began
I began a few
years ago,
months ago.
a few months ago.
Months ago.
Very good. Are you a heavy sleeper? Are you a heavy sleeper? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm a heavy sleeper.
Who's your favorite writer? Who's your favorite writer? My
My
favorite
favorite
writer
writer
is
is Hirashino Keigo.
very good. Do you hope you live a very long time? Do you hope you live a very long time? Yes or no?
Yes, I
I
hope
I
I
live
live
a
very
very
long time.
very good. Do you think it's important to be positive about life and full of hope for the future? Do you think it's important to be positive about life and full of hope for the future? Yes, I
Yes,
think
I
it's
think
important
it's
to be
important
positive
to be
about
positive
life
about
and
life
full of
and
hope
full of
for the
hope
future.
for the future.
Do you hope the weather will be sunny tomorrow? Do you hope the weather will be sunny tomorrow? Yes, I
Yes,
hope the
I
weather
hope the
will be
weather will
sunny.
be sunny tomorrow.
Greg, do you believe everything people tell you? Do you believe everything people tell you? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
believe
don't believe
everything people
everything
tell
people
me.
tell me.
Some things I
Some
believe,
things I
and some
believe and
things I
some things
disbelieve.
I disbelieve.
Do you believe there is life on other planets? Do you believe there is life on other planets? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
believe
believe
there
there is
is life
life on
on
other planets.
Do you believe it'll be possible in the future for people to live until they're 200 years old? Do you believe it'll be possible in the future for people to live until they're 200 years old? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
believe
believe
it'll be
it,
possible
it will be
in the
possible
future for
in the
people
future
to
for
live
people
until
to live
they're
until
200
they
years
are
old.
200 years old.
Well, again, what's the difference between to do the shopping and to go shopping? What's the difference between to do the shopping and to go shopping? The difference
The
between
difference
to
between
do the
to do the
shopping and to go
shopping and
shopping
to go
is
shopping
that to
is that
do the
to
shopping
do
means
shopping means
to buy the
to buy
things that are
things
necessary
that
for the
are
house,
necessary for the
such
house,
as food,
such as food,
etc.
etc.
Whereas to go shopping
Whereas
means
for
to
shopping
visit
means
shops
to
generally.
visit shops generally.
Very good. Okay, next. When you do the shopping, do you make a list before going to the supermarket? When you do the shopping, do you make a list before going to the supermarket? Yes or no?
Yes,
When
yes.
I do the
I,
shopping,
when I do the
I
shopping,
make a
I
list
make a list
before
before
going.
going to the supermarket.
Like, do you ever go shopping and come home with nothing? Do you ever go shopping and come home with nothing? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
some
sometimes
go shopping
go
and
shopping
come home
and
with nothing.
with nothing.
Very good. Okay, so we stop there for today, but very good practice. Thank you very